Steal of a psychotic Irish gypsy, you'll never be safe again. Warning, some audiences may find this content disturbing. View at your own discretion. Welcome to the House of Reddit. Today, we share some juicy r/nuclear revenge stories posted on Reddit. Steal of a psychotic Irish gypsy, you'll never be safe again. My town in England is rough, very rough. There's a man that passes through every now and again who is, to put it bluntly, a psychopath. His name's Fergal and he's a gypsy, moves around a lot and disappears into gypsy community, and if you even look at him wrong, he might stab you. Seriously, he has killed people. He has a lot of friends in town, drug dealers, felons, selling guns. I used to work in a shop that was owned by a drug dealer and Fergal always came in when he was in town for a cup of tea. He liked me and always called me Butterfly for some weird reason. My boss came in the shop one day and said that a well-known scruff, he'd sell his own mother and rob the dead, who we'll call Tez, had stolen Fergal's chain that had his beloved, deceased grandmother's ring on. Fergal was fuming. Fergal was coming back to town at his earliest convenience, but before he could Tez was arrested for trying to rob the corner shop with a rolling pin. Fergal wasn't having that, he had told everyone that he was going to kill him because there was no way to get the ring back. Fergal did what any sane person would do, he seriously assaulted someone to get arrested. He made sure it was on camera and stayed until the police got there. He was arrested and put in the same prison as Tez. Fergal managed to stab Tez in the legs, but told him that he wasn't finished. That he'd beat him so badly that he'll think he's going to kill him, but he won't. He will sometime, definitely, but he'll never know when. This was 3 years ago and both are out. Tez has been beaten twice and he's moved town. Fergal knows where he lives and makes sure that Tez knows. Tez's brother said that he's terrified of Fergal and that he's scared of going out. Tez is a horrible person, he stole his mother's bank card and put her in debt with drugs, beat his pregnant girlfriend and he left a 1-year-old in the bath alone, she barely survived and has damage to her brain due to lack of oxygen. Don't screw with the army brat. Hello everyone. This is my first time posting to this sub. Normally, I post in malicious compliance, as I prefer to let people screw themselves over. However, once, many moons ago when I was very young and unmedicated, my anger got the better of me. Please buckle up, and remember, keep your hands and feet inside the coaster during the entire ride. An attendant will be around to check your harness shortly. Thank you for choosing Miss Victoria's stories of Sit On It and Twist. Now, people may not know this by looking at me today, I'm a goth chick and proud pagan, but, during a period of my school years I went to a Catholic school. I had made very few friends, but we appeared very close. There were 4 of us females and 2 guys. When I got about 16, nature finally decided to take its course and I became interested in guys, girls as well, but this was a Catholic school in an extremely small southern town. My affections fell on a senior in our group, who I will call Adam, the first man, he. He seemed interested as well, and we began dating. That summer Adam decided to join the army. Having grown up in an entire family of Army and Navy, I was very proud of him, and I intended to join the military as well once I could. And I did. Hoo-yah Navy, so, when he left for boot camp I tried to help him as much as I could. But, alas, all puppy loves must come to an end. You see, high school boys are notorious for being dogs, and my little soldier was no different. Adam had married an exotic dancer immediately after 8, or technical training for the non-military. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, I mean what good would a revenge story be if it was just an ex who decided to say screw it? No, you see, our group of friends had one particularly saucy lass who I'm going to call Lilith, the first woman and mother to all demon kind, who also had her eyes on Adam. Now, it wasn't but a few months after Adam came home for a few weeks on leave, that I learned about his wife. But, this was after I found out that he had knocked up my best friend Lilith. As you can imagine, 16-year-old hormones plus undiagnosed bipolar plus first love plus first betrayal equates to a whole mess of non-thought-out actions. Now, I need to say, this is not a path I am super proud of. In fact, I cringe every time I think about what happened. For anyone who doesn't know, adultery in the US military is an extreme offense. Punishable by all sorts of nasty things, such as restriction, docking of pay, court-martial, dishonorable discharge, or even brig time, although while I've heard it as a possible punishment, I've never seen that one. The very first thing I did was report the adultery and pregnancy to his command, followed by his wife. She deserved to know her less than 1-month-old marriage already had a Jody problem. Long story short, for his part he lost his wife, rank, and was discharged when found to be drinking underage and in uniform, as a result of the divorce. Lilith on the other hand met a much nastier fate. See, as I said, this was a very small and predominantly Catholic town. So, her revenge was much meaner. My first stop was to the school's priest. I didn't make it a confession, as my family was not Catholic, we were Pentecostal, so, I spoke with him about a crisis of faith. Where I basically spilled the beans that 16-year-old Lilith and school volleyball star had gotten pregnant, and, dived to my beliefs, I was unsure if I should maintain a relationship with her. Of course, the priest took that to the school board, as a pregnancy was a violation of our purity promises. I know, extremely stupid, but, again, the Southern dogma at its best. She was kicked from the team pending a pregnancy test. Surprise, it was positive. The next step was to ruin her job. The diner she worked for was basically owned by a couple who believed sex was for reproductive purposes only, and taking pleasure from it was a sin. Lilith was fired. As a bonus, her parents discovered Ah was not only pregnant, but had gotten that way with a married man. They lost it, and did not speak to her. I'm not really sure to the extent they maintained their silence, seeing as she was a minor, and she was kicked out on the day of her 18th birthday. I've really lost touch with almost everyone from that time, but from my understanding, Lilith suffered a miscarriage. This is where most of my guilt resides, due to the stress, and has since developed a habit, although I'm not sure of what, and I don't want to assume. Adam's wife did leave him, but, not before getting pregnant herself and taking him for everything she could. Due to the dishonorable discharge, he could not longer work in that town and moved somewhere in the Midwest. Maybe I went too far over a high school crush, but, in the end it was the anger of a teenager scorned. I feel guilty over the miscarriage, yet, knowing that I'm remembered by even a few people as a force to be reckoned with, does bring a smile to my face. Abusive husband loses his family, house, visa, dignity, and $100,000. My cousin, Australian, has just met a wonderful person. He cared for her, loved her, and really treated her in a special caring way, or so we thought. One day she came in the middle of the night to my house, and then I saw her, with her son. Both had bruises on their face. As it turns out, he just married her for her privileges as an Australian. So when they got a son, she got pressured to handle the abuse and stay with him just so that she can see her son. And now this guy is gonna pay. My family and I devised an elaborate plan to send the cousin and her son to Australia, where she has more custody rights over there, but we also had to make her get some money to start her business there as well. First we went to the police, who said that they can't arrest him because the cousin didn't report him, but the mind is taking care of him. So later that night one of my cousins and I attacked him with bars of soap wrapped in a towel, no bruises or wounds, and we beat him until they broke. And after he went to the police station to report us, they laughed at him. After he got out we warned him to leave Lebanon before we seriously hurt him. And after that confrontation he got his wife, son, and $100,000. Here came the tricky part. We had to have incriminating evidence of his abuse to blackmail him. We can't attack him in Australia, so after my aunt helped them get a house, she rigged a camera, and after she captured the abuse and timed the recordings, my cousin took her son and $100,000. When the guy tried to confront her and take his son and money back to Lebanon, he was shown the incriminating footage and given an ultimatum: he either leaves Australia without divorcing the wife with the son and he might get killed, we beat him up for beating the son, or he leaves Australia penniless, and he chose the latter. When he made back to Lebanon he slipped into alcoholism. He lost his and his house due to his temper issues, lost his visa since his ex-wife reported him anyway, and is currently a homeless man. I saw him while I was in the car in Lebanon. I'm currently stuck there. And he looked so empty, even when he saw me and recognized me, but he didn't react. And then I realized that I made him lose everything, even his Australian visa, got revoked. But then you realize that this man deserved it. My cousin is currently running a restaurant with her new husband, who has a daughter, and is a truly amazing guy. If you enjoy this video, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for future videos, please let us know in the comments below. Turn on the notifications to know when we post new videos. Thank you for coming to the House of Reddit.